I am vengeance. I am... If you say the night, I'm going to slap you with a cease and desist order so hard, your skull will be extinguished. And I am out of here.
What's up, everybody? It's me, True Star Screamer, and we are here with another, this is cool, I get to say this, another Mezco review, and we got something damn amazing here, alright? Damned amazing, one could say. This is the Mezco 1/12 scale Ghost Rider figure. Now, full disclosure, I did not pay full price for this. By the luck of the moon, I was able to get my hands on this. You could say a wheel of fate helped me get this guy. So, I did not pay the full price on this. Why am I telling you this at the beginning? I mean, this guy's a hefty price tag of $250. And in case my wife is catching on to this show, no, I did not pay that. Why is this important though? For this review, guys, I am not biased of putting my money into it. Does this mean I'm going to be more forgiving, or does this mean I'm going to be a little more critical? That's hard to say. Of course, the box itself here, when Mezco does a presentation, they go all out. I mean, the side here, we got the flaming skull. Oh, holy hell, this artwork's even better. This is the kind of stuff where, I mean, I just have a print of this, to be honest. I'd love to have a poster of this. I'm not a hardcore Ghost Rider fan, but Mezco definitely gives you that premium packaging. This is just a shipper, or a slip cover, so that will come right off. And here we've got, I guess I say the main box, where again we've got the skull on here. More artwork here on the side. I just don't have the space to bring out the camera. How can I do it? Bring out the camera a little. I mean, again, for $250, they're giving you the full presentation. And nothing on the back with, like, the promotional pictures, which you usually get with Mezco stuff. So, let's get this guy open, and let's see what's inside. Alright. We are back after a bit of frustrations, confusions, but we've got Ghost Rider out. I've got him hooked up, and yeah, let me tell you, remember I mentioned I said I didn't have to pay for this guy? Well, I paid for him, but I didn't pay full price. If I had paid $250 right now, this review would almost be something like a Marvel Legends review. And if you've seen my other Marvel Legends reviews, please do take a look at, I don't know, Spider-Man Noir, that's a great one. You would understand some of my frustrations. First and foremost, he does not come with instructions, which other Mezcos have, even just for simply how to put in the stand and all. But for how the batteries and the electronics work in here, believe me, you want instructions. You know what, I'm going to go ahead, forget about the figure for a second. If you bought this, and you put the batteries in, which it does come with batteries, so batteries are included, $250, damn thing better. You put the batteries in and you hit the on switch. Just like that. You hit the on switch, nothing happens. And I was sitting here, I took the batteries in and out like 3 or 4 times. By the way, that screw in there was so tight, I had to use a power drill to loosen it up. I kid you not. But I forgot, then I don't know how I grabbed it or whatever. I think my daughter grabbed it, and all of a sudden that started. After you put the batteries in, zoom in. Yeah, I'm telling myself to zoom in right now. On these panels, There is a switch there. And there's a switch here. By the way, it's got lights and sounds. I guess we'll talk a little more about that later. But, yeah. I was getting angry at this. I was getting very upset because I'm sitting there trying. I thought I'd flip the switch and the things would start out. It didn't. So, enough about that. Let's get back to talking about the figure. So here's the Ghost Rider. Actually, now I'll put you off to the side. Here's the Ghost Rider, and it's a basic Mezco body. And that's kind of one of the sad things about it, because this guy was on pre-order for like 2 years at least. I want to say the pre-orders or images happened while I was still living, before I moved into this house, while I was still at my other house. So that was in 2019. So yeah, man, it's like 3 or 4 years. I mean, it's like right up there with 89 Batman. Maybe it was my apartment. But anyway, it's been a number of... It's probably been at least since 2020. And for a Mezco, this is probably the most bare bones figure I have seen from them. I put the chain around him because... And that's not in any of the promotional pictures, but he needs it. I'll go ahead and take this off. He's got nothing. He's got silver zippers and buckles on the boots, okay? You know, this is Ghost Rider. Johnny Blaze, I mean, he should have had... This jacket should have had more. These pants should have had more. Whether it be silver painting or there's threads down the pants, some kind of... If not metal rivets, I mean, Ghost Rider himself has spikes on his shoulders in some of his images. I mean, okay, I've got a little bit of spiked on the gauntlets here, some silver on it, but this is incredibly plain. In which, okay, for a basic Mezco figure, fine, but was this reusing one of those pink skull guys bodies? You know, the punk ones? I mean, they were just in your basic punk rock leather jumpsuits. He's Ghost Rider. He should have more... I mean, yes, he's got flame coming out of his head, and we'll talk about that, don't worry. But this body is so boring for a guy who's on fire. Articulation, not much to talk about. No boot swivel. You got your ankle rocker right there. I want to... double jointed elbows in here. I'll never take this jacket off. But I believe they're double jointed elbows in here. These hands were probably some of the hardest hands I've ever had to remove. You got your basic, a little bit of an ab crunch, a little bit of a waist swivel, the neck. I get what they did. I get why they did it, but they could have done better. And I think they've done this before with one of their death dealers. That's an LED, so I can twist. Actually, it's actually easier, believe it or not, with that. I want to say twist and pull. Yeah, it's grooved in there. And again, there was no instructions on how to put the batteries in here. It was kind of sheer luck on there. But I can flip this little switch, and ooh, we get a little bit of light. Put that back in there. Put the head on. And his head's glowing. Let me cut my... And they do kind of flicker, which is nice. I'm going to cut the lights off here for a second. And it's a great effect. Okay, first of all, I want to say, that is a great effect. It is great for display. The problem is, with that peg, though, he has no articulation. He can't look up. He can't look down. He can't... You know, if you turn him left and right, he can look left and right. That's just because there's no real connection on there. That's just friction holding him on there. So, again, it looks awesome, but as far as posing him, it really does take a lot out of it. I can't have him looking, you know, pulling somebody up and looking down on them, or hunched forward, you know, kind of in a running pose, because now he can't look up on that. So that is a little bit of a blower, as my old roommate used to say. That, yeah, it takes something out of it. Accessory wise, of all the Mezcos I own, and I own a few, they're usually very accessory heavy. I think the other one I have that might be lighter than as light as or lighter than this was the Netflix Daredevil Mezco. I got that in a trade for some Star Wars figures. But normally I've got more accessories than I know what to deal with. So for the hands, he's got, now I've got one fist on his hand right now, and here's his other fist. He's got one dramatic gesturing hand, and I've got the other one over here. Two motorcycle gripping hands, a semi-holding hand, and we'll get into what that's for in a minute, and a trigger hand. Now, the reason there's dramatic pause on this, because as far as weapons go, we have the aforementioned chain here, which this is pretty neat, I have to say, because it's got a wire going through it, and it's got these really nice the weights on the end are really cool. So I do like this. As you saw before, I had it wrapped around him as well to kind of give him that added break in the design. We also have this flaming chain, which if you ever look up his promotional image, this is actually kind of holding like this. So I think when they decided to package it, they wrapped it up like this, and of course it took the shape. I might see if I can hit a hairdryer on this to straighten this up. I mean, this flame effect is gorgeous, but I almost would have liked to have had this interwoven with the wiring on here, even with the plastic chain. So we've got that. And we have two fireballs. So this one I assume is to be held in this hand. I don't know if it's supposed to be gripped in there or anything. And then there's this, which has some kind of groove on the end. I haven't looked up any reviews, honestly, to see how this goes on here. If this is supposed to go on the bike at all or anything. Definitely I can tell you the trigger hand doesn't do anything with it. Though there is almost like a hole in the sculpt there. I mean, I guess it kind of looks like he's getting thrown like a gambit card. I don't know. But that's it. No hell shotgun, which would be great for this. You know, with shotgun, you know, with the Hellfire shotgun. Or honestly, I actually would have liked the second head too. So, but yeah, this is a very, very bare bones Mezco. As I said, the head sculpt here, I should really pull on this. It is beautifully painted. Let's talk about that. I mean, let's talk some positives. It is impeccable as always. With the LED feature, it looks great on there. The flame is really well done. But I would have loved to have a human head. You know, a Johnny Blaze head, I think would have been really nice. Or again, we could have taken advantage of the LED feature to make it look like he's in mid-transformation. The Hellfire shotgun would be great. It's just, I mean, this stuff is cool. But this is, again, the most lacking Mezco figure I have. Again, wrapping the chain around him absolutely helps, I have to say. Let's get him on the bike, though. So here is Ghost Rider on the Hell Cycle. Now, the Hell Cycle comes packaged with two other accessories. It does come with flames for the front wheel and flames for the back. Which, my diorama... let's pull the diorama away. So there he is on his Hell Cycle with the flames on there. Oh boy. I should be happy. I really should, but I'm not. For the amount of time that they spent working on this, and what was paid, what they were charging for it, this guy should be fitting on this like a custom, like it was custom for him. I was struggling because I was trying to get him to sit on the motorcycle, have his feet up on the pedals, and no, and look forward. He can't look forward because he has no neck. This looks great. In fact, oh, turned on. Let's showcase those electronics on here. I mean, that looks good. This bike looks great. I haven't really talked much about the bike, but it is impeccably painted. The sound chip isn't obnoxious. We've got an LED here shining on the lights, which is really lighting up the fire. They did a very good job of the lighting, of getting that light effect. I really have to commend that. I mean, I've been talking a lot of crap here, but I do need to point out these LEDs are very well placed. So in that aspect, sure, the bike is great. The bike is grand. He just doesn't fit on it like a dream, and he should. Not being able to look forward, I think, is a real pain. If they had one of these flame effects that allowed him to be popping a wheelie, I could have him looking forward, that would have been pretty hot. You know, if somehow I could have modified these flames to have them like popping up like that, and have it look coherent, I'd be all for that, because then at least he's looking forward. But like this, it's very meh, and you can see the legs are not wrapped around it properly. I love this figure. I love this set. This actually has a little bit of a custom repaint for me, but oh look, his feet reach the pedals just like they should. He's sitting flush on his seat. Now the flip. This was the Hasbro version, and this was their Rider series, and I completely ate this up. I really enjoyed this figure. You know, look up your own formal reviews. I don't think I ever did a formal review of this guy, but this was $40, and this was definitely a $20 bike, maybe $15. Well, with the effects in there, yeah, $20 bike. And Johnny looks great. You know, as I mentioned before, the sculpt was broken up, and I don't care about the pins and joints. This is still a good figure. You know, the effects removable, you know, the detachable effects and all. Yeah, the plastic was plain. I painted it, and I'm very happy with the results. And he looks great on it. He looks natural on it. It looks animated on it. He can look forward. Coming back here. Now this is a great looking bike. I will not knock this bike, but again, he doesn't sit flush on it. It doesn't feel custom for him. It's like they went to company A for the bike and Mezco made this, but the measurements just didn't come out right. So yeah, let's get the final thoughts wrapped up, I think. So if I had paid $250 for this, I would be much angrier. I am just now disappointed. I mean, believe me, I'm glad I got him. It's still a Mezco figure. It's still a very good figure. The action figure himself is well done. The clothes look good. The details are impeccable. But this is normally an $85 to $100 figure right here. So that means that's $150 going on the bike here. At least. That's about at least 80 bucks on the bike. Add another $10, $15 here. Your opinion, put your own opinions down below. Accessories wise, this is the most bare bone Mezco I have next to Daredevil. The only other thing I didn't mention, he did come with the traditional Mezco stand. The fact he didn't come with instructions is very, very frustrating. The fact, I mean, we knew what we were coming from accessory wise, but the fact they still didn't pack in a shotgun, but he gave him a trigger hand is really weird. I would have loved, again, an unchanged, a human head as well, a pre-transformation head. It's just for the premium price you're paying, you really should get it all. I mean, Hasbro does it with Masterpiece figures. You know, you get more accessories than you need, but at least you know what you're paying for. My Constantine figure review, my Crow figure, you know, those guys came with a ton. I guess chalk this one up for this was solicited during the pandemic. It was designed during the pandemic. Call it what you will. This is actually the second time I'm recording the final thoughts because I just took the montage photos. I have to say, of all the Mezco figures I have handled, this one is probably the most disappointing. The jacket restricts so much movement. So, like, unless the arms are positioned just right, you run the risk of damaging the clothes. The lack of accessories, the lack of instructions, forget the accessories, the lack of instructions. I still have no idea how I'm supposed to handle this. I kind of jimmied it in when I was doing the photography into one of the hands to make it look like he was throwing a fireball. Maybe that's how it's supposed to work. I don't know. This is useless. I mean, it doesn't uncurl. It doesn't look natural in any way. This chain, though, like I said, it saves him cosmetically. If I didn't have that chain, he would look so freaking bland. I mean, he's Ghost Rider. He's supposed to look metal. I mean, come on. Oh god, why am I blanking on his name? It's on the Crow soundtrack. There's a Ghost Rider song, even. I'll look it up in a minute. But, I mean, okay, the bike is cool. I'm not gonna lie. The bike is cool. It's a great design. The gimmicks work. Do I think it's a $150 bike? Not quite sure. But the bike is cool. This is your basic Mezco, but it's your basic... It's beyond basic on the body, the way the articulation is so restricted. The lack of neck... yeah, he just doesn't look right. Literally, he can't look in the right direction where you want him to go. It, again, totally restricts. So, if you get him, find a pose you like and leave him in there. I really can't say seek out this guy. There are better Ghost Rider figures that cost less out there. I mean, hell, right now I'm waiting. I am with Marvel Select. I'm kind of hoping they do a rider and bike combo soon, just because. So, let me know your thoughts down below. You know, of course, give this video a like. Give me your comments. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. I'm sorry, it's just... Check out my other Mezco reviews. I'm not a Mezco hater. I do like them. It's just... They could have done better with this, especially with all the time that they've had with it. But until next time, take care. Peace.